Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to this ESEA Season 28 Intermediate Grand Finals cast between Feint Gaming and Sporadic eSports. My name is Tery. I'm joined by Mustardoverlord as the other caster, along with Drshdwpuppet on production. Tonight we'll be seeing Gullywash followed by Viaduct, and then if necessary, we will then play Process. Do a quick rundown of the rosters for you as we are getting players in the server now. For Sporadic eSports, we have Trippa and Phone on Scout. We have Haze and Goku on Soldier. We have Fig on Demo, tagged up as Mustardoverlord, so hopefully that won't cause up too many slip-ups here. And then Phantom on Medic. Over on Feint Gaming, we got Laz and Legit on Scouts. Slemnish and Broking, who is tagged up as Pro Skis on Soldiers. Exile is their Demo, and Delete is their Medic. Mustard, what opening thoughts do you have here about this matchup tonight?
Well, I do think it's definitely the two best teams. I think that although there were other teams that maybe people predicted to be better than probably Sporadic at the beginning of the season, they really proved that they deserve to be here. They've been playing really well and peaking at the right time and had some smart pickups, and I think that this is the two best. I think it's going to be pretty close. I think that we're going to see just a really good matchup here. And thanks for having me on TFTV. I've casted a lot of Highlander, and I'm glad to get to, I went from the cut stuff to the straight raw, the sixes, the real deal. So let's go.
Yeah, I mean, we can't overlook the fact that Sporadic, after going 12-4 in the regular season, maybe not surprise everybody, but defeating Mr. Popo, who was the #1 seed in 2 maps, is absolutely noteworthy on their path here to Grand Finals. Whereas Feint, I think, kind of a obvious choice to be here because of all their talented gamers with invite experience.
Indeed, and it just goes to show that we see these teams that often get maligned, whether or not you agree with it, for being sandbagging teams. I personally don't really mind it that much. Some people get very bothered by teams with lots and lots of invite experience coming down to IM, whether it's for the free check or just to stomp on some nerds who are below their level. But it's not impossible to beat these guys. If you take a team, Fig and Trip have a little bit of invite experience, but generally this is a team of up-and-comers, and they, with a couple smart pickups and some good teamwork and cohesion, they made it this far. It's not impossible. And it's good to see. And I think what you're going to see here is Sporadic being a very complete, very well-organized team. They know what they're doing. They have a specific style they like to play. Feint Gaming, they're maybe a bit more of a mishmash, but they're an incredibly talented mishmash, especially highlighted by Slemnish and Laz. People know 2 of the best DMers in the game. So it just comes down to whether, I don't want to say brains versus brawn, because both teams have a lot of both, but it'll come down to the organization and the team chemistry versus, the individual players. That would be the stereotype, at least.
Right. So you have Laz and Slemnish obviously being the spotlight on Feint Gaming. Who would you say are the names to watch here for Sporadic if they want to come up with a victory here?
Well, it's tough to pin down just players on Sporadic. I think it's more the style that they play. They have very, very aggressive soldiers, and they do sort of a weird thing, which not a lot of teams do, where you're used to seeing a roamer bomb in and then the pocket follow it up, but you'll oftentimes see Haze going first and then Goku follow it up, and actually the roamer going in second, which is, teams aren't always used to that, which I think is a little interesting wrinkle. And then you'll see Trip and Fig get lots and lots of heals, and I think Phantom would be one of my players to watch. I think he's a really good up-and-coming medic. I think Trip definitely bringing that invite experience. He's sort of like their semi-main caller. From the scout position, playing pocket scout, getting lots of heals and doing a lot of work. I think Fig as well, really, really coming into her own this season. And also, not to name too many people, but I think Phone, is a really good up-and-coming flank scout that a lot of people didn't really know about before this season, but he makes a lot of stuff happen.
Right, it's definitely been a breakout season for him as well. So we'll see the complete team, the well-rounded team in Sporadic facing off the favorite in Feint Gaming with all of their players. Legit playing on Feint, actually playing on Sporadic for 1 or 2 seasons ago, from their couple IM seasons, maybe even an open season. These two teams met up one time in the regular season. Feint won at 5-4 on Snakewater. We won't be seeing Snakewater here, but rosters were a little different. I don't think Trip was on the team yet, and maybe Sandbass was playing for Feint, but hopefully we will get, again, just an exciting series here between these two teams tonight.
Mm-hmm. Should we talk about the maps, Tery?
Yeah. What do you think about this first map here on Gully Wash?
Well, to broaden it out a little bit, so the maps that the two teams picked, right, were Gully Wash and Viaduct, and it was Feint that picked Gully Wash, which conventional wisdom, that makes sense, right? They have Slemnish and Broking on Solar. Slemnish was running shotgun, playing very DM heavy, taking lots of heals, just doing work with Ubers. Broking, we know, it loves maps like Gully Wash where you can very easily get behind on Roamer and can create utter chaos. So it made perfect sense that the more soldier-centric team would pick Gully Wash. Meanwhile, Sporadic, playing around their scouts and demo more, picked Viaduct, which made sense as well, and they've been steamrolling teams on Viaduct this whole season. But Feint Gaming has made a really concerted effort, I've noticed it in scrims in the last couple weeks, to really try and give Laz more heals. Like, you would think that without Slemnish, they wouldn't have that, like, centralizing pocket scout anymore. But they've been giving Laz actually a ridiculous amount of heals, like top healing in the server, and using Slemnish a little more long leash. And I think while Gully Wash actually might suffer from that, unlike most maps, I think Viaduct will actually be benefited by that. So, whereas beforehand I would have said, yeah, definitely Feint favored on Gully Wash and Sporadic favored on Viaduct, I'm not too sure anymore. I think it might be almost the other way around even, Tery.
Well, with 12 players in the server, hopefully we'll be seeing those ready-ups soon, and we're going live right now. So before I take this first mid, Mustard, what are your predictions? Let's hear them.
I'm going to go for a 5-3 to Feint on the first map, but I actually think it's going to be a 2-1 to Sporadic overall. That's what I'm going to go with.
Ooh.
Because the last map is Process, and I think of all 3 maps, that's the clearest in my mind. I think if it goes to 3 maps, I actually favor... you know what? Now I'm waffling. I'm not sure who's going to win this map, man. It could be either. It could be either team.
Well, I will say with confidence that I think Feint's going to take it out 2-0. It might not be clean, it might not be pretty, but I think they've got what it takes to grab the quick 2 maps here. I'm going to be watching Exile on this first rollout. We're going live, ladies and gentlemen. Feint Gaming in the red jerseys, Sporadic in the blue, and we're watching this rollout here. Here we go. Exile's doing the choke rollout. It's getting there pretty quick. Normal time, I would say, and he gets early damage on blue team as they're walking up elbow. We'll see how the red soldiers play off of it here. Both teams just kind of feeling it out, playing on their side, very passive until Hayes goes in for a bomb. Hayes and Goku dropping lots of damage, picking up 2 kills along the way. Blue team has secured point area before this late soldier bomb comes in, and with only Flaz and Delete alive, Sporadic will take the first mid.
Really good job by Broking to get the medic to get Phantom at the end there, but I think what you saw there was the really good soldier coordination of Sporadic in particular, because Broking got very hurt at the beginning of the mid and was completely out of it, and meanwhile, right as he was kind of destroyed, Hayes and Goku double bombed and just did a ridiculous amount of damage. As we see Fig dying to a Slemnish pick, and they have Uber advantage, so they should be able to milk this through the choke.
Yep. Being very careful here, looking for traps. Delete takes a little bit of damage, but takes the health pack. They killed Goku, who was trying to get the Force, and actually Fig died earlier, so that was pretty bad by them, and now red team's just bullying their way in through big door. They're going deep. This scout, Laz, is telling his medic to follow him. He picks off phone, and they still haven't popped Uber, so this is just a great series here for Feint early on as they're capping 2.
Yeah, a mistake by Fig, but a great play by Slemnish to do that high bomb to kill Fig and choke while she was setting up a trap, so no demo ran right before the Uber, let them roll all this way. Now they are Ubering in, and the other team is going to get Uber in time, so let's see if they can manage to get back out once they realize that. Some trades going on. The point is open though.
Oh, Laz almost single-handedly capped it himself, but looks like Feint will lose 4, and you know, they will Sporadic will hold for now, but bit of a scary situation there, letting the scout cap almost like 98% of the way.
It's tough because it looks great that Laz got it so capped, but it actually was probably a mistake for them to stay in once they realized the other team had Uber, so it did lead to them losing all this ground, and Delete does have a bit of an Uber ad. Actually, I don't really know where that came from. I guess they were just building a lot better with Exile with Delete the whole time.
Ooh, and now the scouts from Sporadic picking up a couple kills. 3 kills for the scouts on blue here, and that counts to 4 total after Goku picks up Broking. And despite the Uber ad on Feint, they're going to have to be running away here as blue team will hop onto that point.
I would describe that Tery as an extremely cocky dry push from Feint. They didn't really have an advantage going into that, and when you don't have a pick already, it can be very hard to get through that Gully Wash choke completely dry. They did manage to kill Fig, but other than that, it didn't really go well. But does Feint, I think Feint might realize they have an Uber advantage, or at least they're starting to peak. They see how far back the other team is. They're trying to muscle their way in here.
Yeah, they're going in slowly. Slemnish is trying to jump onto the point, but they are taking a really long time. Goku does die, and actually Laz picks up Haze, so no soldiers here on blue team. They actually did get forced. I'm not sure what forced delete there, but now Phantom's sitting pretty with 100% Uber. Broking is hiding in their big door, though.
They had the option to try to use it back in, but it seems like they're going to try to wait for their respawns. I'm not sure. It's a tough call right there, because if you go in, you could get absolutely nothing, or you could kill delete. And now they're waiting. Are they going to get forced? It'll pay off if they don't get forced before they get their spawns. They have their spawns now. What we want to see here is a nice clean push. If they can either get him without using, or get a quick roamer pick and cap.
Yeah, I'm putting my cam on Haze here as he jumps through choke, trying to look for all the traps, the sneaky players. It doesn't look like there's any, so he jumps forward to create space. And Fig's the only one low, but it looks like Blue will be able to retake this without... Oh, Phantom is at 60 health, but... Oh, here comes the Soldier Bomb.
Nice
Phantom
so
13 health.
Nice milk.
Ooh.
Really, really tense there with the pistols coming in from Big Door. Phantom gets the bottle. Now here's the question. What do they do with this pick? Because they'll have to know the Ubers have evened out. They're probably going to go Big Door while they have this player down. You'd like to see them rotate Big Door while Broking's dead, try to get a scout or a soldier in behind, but it seems like they've let Broking respawn. It's still definitely possible to do that, though, and I do think they're going to try to make a Big Door play here.
Yep, looks like they're setting up towards Big Door. 3 players here as the soldier jump. Oh, this Goku gets piped away, so that's the end of that. Now the red team counter aggression trying to get through, but Fig with some really good spam denying them back here. So we'll probably just see a respawn and a reset unless...
but both scouts are bullying choke.
Slemnish got knocked down super low, and Feint, Laz is also still really hurt. We'll see how... Looks like that will kind of cancel the momentum that Red was trying to go with.
Yeah, Red got the picks, Feint got the picks, but their health was just utterly awful if you looked across the board, and they just decided it wasn't worth it. Yeah, I wasn't sure really what Sporadic was going for that last time around with the double soldiers Big Door. I would like to just leave a roamer Big Door and take your combo, or leave a roamer choke rather and take your combo Big Door. I feel like just 2 soldiers there are getting too much spam. So we'll see if they try to do that again, or if Goku's just going to try to sack through choke. Seems like my guess right now is that they're trying to make up their mind about what they're doing, and it ends up being a Goku sack. Delete manages to milk it down to 17 health. Oof.
Yeah, really good milks out of Delete and Phantom so far, so both medics, you know, balling out early and not forcing to really poor circumstances. Will we see Goku open the door for a scout to come back? That would be my inclination here.
Ooh, Broking actually went through drop down, but it was seen, so he just waddled around on the floor against and actually jumped out Big Door. And Slemnish actually went for a play. It looks like he was trying to either trade or sack, depending on what was available. All he could do was sack. Didn't work out. Again, I'd like to see Sporadic use this pick. They're just peeking choke. I would like to see them use this to get through Big Door more cleanly. Because it's just going to be an Uber trade. I'm not sure how great that's... They do drop Broking. That's actually a pretty big pick.
Oh, but then
And
Laz
Fig.
kills Fig, though, so that evens out right there. Probably a net loss for Sporadic here. Goku's actually behind the enemy team, up in about the health pack, and he's just kind of jumping around, being a nuisance, distraction play. Looks like the rest of his team isn't really able to capitalize off that, and in fact, Laz getting a kill on Trip, Phone getting knocked down really low, but he manages to shut down Slemnish's bomb.
And Goku lost the 1v1 at last to Broking, so
Yeah.
play completely shut.
Frags happening all over the place, but one man up for Feint. They're going to recap the point, even Ubers exactly. So, well, it looks like the script is flipped, and now we'll see how Feint decides to break this 3-2 stalemate.
One thing I've noticed a lot is Fig is getting caught out a lot. I don't know if that's her positioning or if it's just that Feint is making a really concerted effort to focus her, or if she's not getting healed, or what it is. It could be any number of reasons various times. As you see Broking in, he actually does a lot of damage on Phantom, but again, Phantom counts rockets, realizes he doesn't have one loaded, and Balls of Steel, milking that. Great job.
Yep, another beautiful milk from Phantom here. You think Broking will just come up back on Soldier? Will he open the door for a scout? Because so far we've not seen any off-classing. You know, Soldiers
never
have
know
just
this
been
guy, man.
right. Soldiers have just been going in. It looks like they will
There's
elect
Soldier.
to keep the Soldier.
He did go heavy one time very memorably in their last match. I don't know if you caught that, but they were uber disadvantaged, and instead of trying to force the medic on Soldier, he hit an elbow as heavy. So I was hoping that might come through, but not quite. Looks like they're just going to get another sound.
That'd be pretty exciting. I see some confusion in our stream chat. Let me just quickly go over the aliases again in this stalemate. We have Twippy, who is actually just Trip. It's not too difficult there. Mustardoverlord is actually Fig, not my co-caster Mustardoverlord. And then over on Feint, we have Daydreaming, who is Slemnish, and Proskis, who is Broking. So,
and the man himself, Broking, is trying to make plays. He actually does get up top with only 6 health, but he gets taken down. Actually, both soldiers die. Not sure if that 2-man sack is really worth it here. Yeah, Laz is gonna... He's going to force out the Uber, actually. He's doing a lot of damage, but he's going to completely wrap behind. Really good play by Sporadic to just ignore the Uber, go behind, and kill everyone else.
Oh my god. 4 kills for Sporadic, yeah. Laz and Delete run away.
Both these teams, I have to say, are playing this extremely weird. There's not a lot of subterfuge, not a lot of flanking that they're trying to make happen in these stalemates. They're just trying to muscle their way through choke, and it doesn't matter how good you guys think your DM is, man. I mean, like, you can't just all funnel through a choke and expect it to work out. They really should just be trying to make things happen big during these stalemates, but it hasn't happened so far.
We'll see which one of these teams decides to take that Mustard advice here, but this is still the very first round, so a lot of back and forths. Hayes dying to Slemnish up top in heaven, so we'll see. And then they get Goku too, so like again the script is now flipped once more. Feint is re-pushing off of 2 soldiers, and they might catch Fig here. Fig takes an arrow to stay alive, but...
Will the soldiers get forward spawn, though? It's very... I don't think they will. Yeah, this should be a push. This should be a push for Feint. They should try to get him without using clear stickies. They're sending a soldier through drop down. That's the right...
Oh, Delete goes drop down with 36 health. Very risky position. They do pop, and Blue does pop in response, but... frags traded as the Ubers are about to end here. Looks like Feint will tuck tail and run out through... Oh, Delete gets caught.
When I said Slemnish through drop down, I did not mean the whole team through drop down. You cannot send your medic through drop down if you have even Ubers. That's strictly an Uber advantage play. And we see Trip just full cleanup on the people sacking his medic. They played that so smart. They got Delete and immediately held S. And just a lot of back and forths. And I mean, a little bit earlier we saw Feint catch Sporadic off guard with that double soldier up top, just pushing them out and just destroying them. But again, they're pushing with total disrespect when both teams have Uber and their medic pays the price, and now we see Phantom with a 30% advantage.
Yep, Legit is already on the Engineer Man. He got a 7th player up on the top left spawn if you're Feint, and we'll see how Sporadic elects to take this Uber add into them, but to decide to do so by trading Fig for Broking. Sorry, I just made a mistake.
Yeah, you'll see this play a lot from Broking teams, and a lot of teams, but I think Broking really likes this in particular, where one soldier peeks Shutter and the other peeks Balcony, and they try to double spam the demo. And when you see how far back the rest of Sporadic was, I don't think they were ready for that. I feel like either Fig needs more support there, or she needs to play farther back.
Yeah, and you can see how that pick immediately paid dividends as Sporadic, electing to not push without a demo. So, Legit's gonna stay on NG, and Sporadic will roll out the cookie cutter setup here. We're probably gonna see another Goku bomb, but bombing into a sentry gun probably not ideal. Phone dies, so maybe Phone is the sack here. He's probably gonna go sniper, I would imagine.
I can tell you this, Terry. That was not a purposeful sack. That was getting caught in lobby while the rest of his team was holding. It's weird. I see Sporadic holding so far back even when they have 6 players. You have to do that when you're down players, but I don't understand why their combo is holding so far back when it's even. But in any case, we see Sporadic trying to push for a trade, but I feel like the longer this takes, the worse it'll get. Yeah. They do trade Roamer.
The Roamer special.
Yeah, eventually they have to fall back. They still have an NG at last. This is not an advantage push for them, and they're going to fall back here.
Well, we're here. We're waiting for this this first round to go down here. Feint is sitting on their last. Sporadic in control-ish so far, but not a lot of big plays, not a lot of wow moments so far. Just a lot of trading Ubers, trading points, and again, Sporadic. The ball is in Sporadic's court here as they're trying to crack this last hold here.
As Fig gets caught out again by Broking pushing main and going to basement. Yeah, again, I really don't understand. Like, Fig, Goku, and Phone are going in a lobby, but Hayes and Trip are just sitting all the way back up top, not even in river, while both teams have 6 players. And, Feint's recognizing that, and both their soldiers are just pushing lobby and killing the players without heals. You really have to take your heals closer when they're trying to set up a sack, but they're not even getting a chance to do it because half their team is dying before they can even get in position.
Right, that was a pretty easy retake here for Feint, and well, Mustard, here we are again, 3-2 stalemate. This time with Sporadic on control of mid. So,
and correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think either team has actually broken this stalemate by succeeding. They've broken it by failing and having the other team overextend into them and die. So,
right.
Let's see if a team can successfully. I really would like to see Sporadic just take Soldier, Pocket Scout, maybe a demo Big Door, try to muscle that Scout in behind, maybe get their Pocket in and solo, try to get him behind. But like, there's just not enough space to work with the choke. I mean, the solo sacks are all right, but
I don't think either team has done anything besides.
The delete gets forced.
Ooh, yeah, there we go.
And
it looks like the soldier bomb will work eventually here.
And it's a trade. It's not even a single soldier because Fig has some great spam on the choke as they're trying to use that. So they're moving Big Door. We see Sporadic moving Big Door, trying to get in pretty fast. Delete gets locked out. Can they hold this Uber to last? If they can,
they're gonna try. Soldiers on Phantom.
Nice surf by Phantom all the way around the corner to mid. That's actually really impressive. He just strafed around that corner and Broken could do absolutely nothing. So they'll have this Uber pushing last.
Ooh, he gets forced. Well, maybe not.
Yeah.
Ooh, Hayes killing this bombing soldier. 3 picks now, 3 down for Feint. They do still have to deal with the 7th player, and Fig is kind of locked in Shutter Door. Some really good spam by Exile, denying blue team at first, but someone's on the point, and Goku goes down. Again, legit has been on Engineer for a while and just setting up.
That was actually a great play by Slemnish forcing him in lobby. Usually it's not worth it to force the team in lobby when they're pushing last because then you're down a player and they're already so close to last anyways. But Spawns and Gullywash are so fast and they couldn't even get into the gun in time. However, this push out is a little unadvisable. I feel like numbers are pretty even. Exile gets taken down. We do see a lot of players going down, but I don't know if this is going to be successful with Momenda.
Yeah, a lot of players jumping around, causing distractions. Red team is still on the point. Slemnish and Broken trying to go for height advantage bombs. What? Delete drops to a trap or just didn't notice. And now Phantom's got full Uber charge advantage. They're gonna run in and stop the point. They don't get forced. They might kill the scout by Big Door. And it's looking real good for Sporadic here, as long as they don't, have a disaster Uber. Only Exile alive, and he's getting pressured right now by Trip.
Yeah, this should be around.
Yeah.
Very smart play by Hayes there, actually. I'll talk about it in a second. Yeah, Hayes actually stayed up top because he knew a scout might rush for the back cap since they were down so many players, and he killed Legit, who was going for exactly that play. So, eventually Sporadic won this round, and I think it came down a little bit to the medic play. I mean, you can't fully blame Delete for dropping there because you would have figured someone might have cleared that trap, but just keeping Phantom alive for so long eventually won them that round.
Yep, as we're taking over another mid here. Fig going up his side and just spamming across the point. Looks like the health is pretty even so far, but the soldier bombs, oh my gosh. Slemnish and then Exile picking up kills. And Phantom going down, Delete still alive. We'll see if Goku and Phone try and go for a play, but Phone just dies. Goku's
all the way out.
Only survivor, and he's tuck tail, running to his last.
Yeah, complete opposite of the other mid, whereas the last mid we saw Goku and Hayes get the drop on Feint, get some really nice aggression. This time they all got bundled in that corner. Exile walked across, spammed a couple pipes that hit everyone, and Slemnish synced a bomb perfectly onto them. Excellent play by the demo and Pocket Soldier for Feint. Now they have full Uber advantage. There was no time for an Engineer on Sporadic. They do have a Heavy and a Sniper. Let's see if that's enough, or if they're gonna not be able to hold this.
Looks like the Feint Uber is setting up in River. We're gonna see how they're gonna bring a soldier with them. Soldier scout in from the left. They do split up, but Laz gets the immediate kill on the Goku, so the Heavy is still alive and very beefy, getting arrowed up by Phantom, so I think Sporadic they're holding this, but they just completely ignored the point and Broken capped it. I think it was ×2, so he must be running Pain Train.
I think it was him and Slemnish, or maybe you're right. I don't know. I saw him and Slemnish on the point together at one point, but that wouldn't surprise me. Broken seems like the type of guy to do that. And yeah, very quick response round. Unlike the round by the first round by Sporadic, that was very, very decisive.
Yep, that first round lasted like 15 minutes, and that round lasted about 1.5.
Nice air shot by Slemnish, completely denying a soldier. Can they make good on this? Broken's destroying a soldier underneath. The health is very, very bad for Sporadic. I think Feint's Feint's doing pretty well to clean this up. Phone gets a kill on the ground, but the positioning is just way better for Fate. Luckily, Sporadic does manage to get their medic out. And Exile going for this play, I do not agree with. But
yeah, kind of getting a little too cute there, I think. But Phantom will get out with his life. Ubers are even, so it's not the worst case scenario if you're Sporadic here. But with a lot of early cap time on 2, it looks. Oh, they're gonna fight this.
Yeah.
Goku leading his team out. And the scout is totally caught. Yeah, legit dies to Trip.
If Exile hadn't gone for that play, he would have just locked that out with stickies, right? And they would not have been able to refight.
Ooh, but then Phantom getting a little, dropping Trip and then forcing. So now Red has a way better Uber. Phantom is probably a dead man here as he's trying to run away. Yeah. Fate's coming in. They're cleaning up kills. Delete does go down to Haze. So Haze with a nice attempt at a salvage here, but. And it's actually a 3v4, but I think the health on Sporadic is just too low, and their player disadvantage will push them back to their last.
Yeah, no, I definitely think. Ooh, nice play by Fig. Exile keeps going for these back caps, and it seems like the other team is wise to it. Probably because he won the best of 3 against King's Crew by doing that. Yeah, no, that was very good salvage by Haze though to kill the medic, because respawns are so fast in Gully Watch Last, much faster than other maps. So. That basically bought them a last hold. I mean, they're still stuck at last, but... And I'm not sure how I feel about this push out again. I think Fig's going to get caught here, too. Yeah, that was very odd. If you're going to go for a dry push there, at least do it from River, man. You're not going to get through Shutter for free against the full team.
Or, you know, bring more than just 3 players.
That as well.
Then Delete gets the fancy medic kill with the Uber Saw. That really doesn't amount to anything, but it looks nice in the stat sheet. So we have Fate going up 2-1. And you want to take this mid, Mustard, and see what happens here?
Sure. And I have to say, I don't know why Sporadic's getting so impatient when they were up 1-0. These rounds have been very quick, and some of it's been down to them. So I want to see something different. Maybe their soldiers can have a better mid this time. As we see, I'm actually watching Haze right now. He's just waddling underneath. He actually got completely caught out, so... That was wrong. So, will Fate do something with this advantage? Goku's coming in, but suddenly the scouts kill Delete. Phantom's still alive. He's on the ground, but seems like he's avoiding damage for now. Can they get on Phantom? That's the question. He's only 40 health. But ooh, Broking has not gotten on him yet. Broking's just chilling around his own choke. He's gonna get out, and this.
Oh, he's going drop down. No, he's going for the play. Have they spotted him? I don't think so. He's in. He shoots the scout first. Oh, he doesn't get that second rocket. Yeah.
Phantom may be a little lucky to survive that entire mid, given he was stuck under the point with 19 health, but still, very interesting mid. It was going very poorly for Sporadic at first until their scouts ran across the point and actually double meat shot Delete, and then they managed to just surf around underneath the point very oddly and keep Phantom alive. I was not expecting that. Normally, you know, in the flow chart of a mid fight, losing a soldier instantly with both teams still at full health is not a good sign, but yeah, sometimes things don't always go as planned. So let's see if Phantom and the rest of Sporadic can convert on this last push. They come in, Sentry Gun denying them, but they do manage to get it eventually. Broken goes down. It's a pretty even fight so far, hard to call. They do have some good positioning, but ooh, that kill will probably seal it.
And the health on Feint, yeah, just way too low. Just Slemnish the only one alive with 16. And that goes it. Nice response round here from Sporadic, tying it up 2-2. So far, you know, the first round was super slow, but it looks like the action is picking up here, and we're all tied up again. So hopefully this is just a preview of the rest of the night to come as we go into this last mid of the last half, or the first half. I'm sorry.
Well, yeah. One thing you'll notice is we have not seen a lot of mids with both medics surviving, or even one medic surviving for that matter. A lot of medics have been getting owned on these mids. As I'm watching, Trip is looking for Broking, but he doesn't call him in time. Broking's timing is actually perfect, and he does come up, but oh, it's a little too late for his.
Goku again, or Sporadic getting the medic pick onto Delete, and now they're going to bubble up around their own medic. Phantom surviving, and like you said, there hasn't been a lot of mids where both meds have lived. I only counted one so far.
And I have to admit, Terry, I got a little tunnel vision on that mid. Broking can really lure you into that. He's some of the things he does are so interesting. I was watching Trip staring at drop down for like 10 seconds, and the second he looked away, Broking bombed up. I thought perfect timing, but you know what? Took too long. The rest of his team wiped. So, you know, that's the yin and yang of Broking sometimes. And with that said, we see a last hold. And did I see that right? Is Delete on? Never mind. I'm an idiot.
No, Delete is on Medigun.
Yeah. And, sometimes I see a couple sizzles that aren't there. So let's see if they can hold this. We see another legit Sentry Gun.
Yeah, he's just the Sentry, man.
They know where it is. I'd like to see. Yeah, that's what I wanted. Pair it with a Pyro. That's the play right there. But Laz doesn't get there in time. He switched to Pyro too late. And I think this is going to be a push for Feint. Or for Sporadic, sorry.
Yep, Sporadic grabbing 3 kills to only losing 2. They're about to kill Slemnish, who's very hurt. Goku on right over Exile, but Exile actually 2-pipes him, so that's really good from him. And it looks like Exile single-handedly saving his team there. This Phantom is running away, meeting up with the Scout on his own 2.
Yeah, great play by Exile, and kind of poor focus fire, surprisingly, from Haze and Goku, who are usually incredible at that aspect of the game. I think they shot different targets there, and Exile was just allowed to live forever, so... Great hold by him, though. I can't deny that. As we do see Laz going down, that could make this Uber push very difficult. Laz is often the one leading the... They are giving up a second, though, and it'll be interesting to see if Feint still goes for this, because by the time they cap it... Yeah, they're just capping it now, and Phantom's already at 80%. Are they going to still go for this, knowing how close it is?
It's really interesting. They're leaving Exile on last as they moved up here, so... Usually you usually have a soldier. Most teams, I think, nowadays is the standard to keep a roamer on last and then push everybody else up, but Exile trapped it up and then he just secured that area while his team was trying to move forward. You see Broking die, but Goku might trade in response. Nope, he gets a pack and an arrow and he's all healthy. He's gonna try and do a bomb, looks like. Gets in relatively cleanly, but isn't able to connect more than 50 damage and he'll just go down. And you know, after making a comment about how the game has picked up a little bit, it might actually still be picking up. Yeah, Phantom taking his Scout in a solo. Slemnish gets a solo of his own, and you know, this just looks like Blue Team is just recycling the Uber as we again reset on this 3-2 here.
Phone did get in behind during that Uber, though. We saw him run all the way up top. He's running a last. He's fighting legit, and he's a lot lower in health, but well, we'll see what happens.
Yep, he's sneaking his way into River now. He will basically be full health. Broking dies, and now, here's Phone's opportunity. Oh, he gets body blocked by a soldier, and he gets shut down, so unlucky by him.
Yeah, and there is a one-player advantage for Feint, but it could be very difficult to use. It's still hard to push in a choke. They are moving to Big Door, which is a little bit more room. And Slemnish does come through drop down. They're trying to get in. But Slemnish gets denied pretty quickly. I say this is an S right now. You already lost your guy. But Delete gets caught trying to climb up elbow. That's complete disaster.
Broking dies as well, yeah.
As soon as you lose Slemnish there and he doesn't get a lot done, I say just book it. Part of the advantage of Big Door is it's pretty easy to get out as well. And they just overstay their welcome and get almost completely wiped.
Ooh, Trip just turning around and shutting down Laz. I mean, I'm not sure how much health he had, but anyway, Sporadic is looking good. Full Uber charge advantage, capping 2. They have the chance to go up in this first half 3-2 here. And it looks like the heels are maneuvering their way up top as we see Legit on his favorite class, the Engineer Man. And, oh no, Phantom and folks are going through lower. We'll see who takes this Uber where. Oh, they pop pretty early, but they should be able to catch the soldier.
Or not Slemnish, Broking rather.
Yeah. Slemnish does die, but, you know, you'll take that. Well, maybe not with Broking going down. They do still have the sentry guy, the 7th player. And there is a Scout trying to pressure the cap, but looks like he's fighting a 1v1 that is actually... Phone actually won that 1v1 with Laz. You don't see that every day. And now Blue Team's just swarming the point. All of Feint dies, and that is the half, so...
Yeah, it was definitely not worth it to lose both soldiers there, and also a great play by Phone, who is actually really good at winning those weird 1v1s where you don't expect him to. That's one of his trademarks. So yeah, very interesting half. If we have a little bit of time, I thought I might take a quick glance at the stats, although they're readying up pretty fast, so I might not have long. And the first thing I noticed is that Phantoms died only 4 times, while Deletes died 9. And I think those faster rounds for Sporadic, you saw them killing the other teams, who had a killing lead on mid, and then just everyone balling around Phantom, doing such a good job at keeping him alive. You know, we saw that several times on mid fights. I'm noticing Trip 24 and 17, and 7 rather, but Laz is 29 and 15. Both of them doing very well. And then the one player who seems to be very much struggling, who I have to call out, but for very understandable reasons, is Legit, who's at 4 and 15 with only 150 DPM. But for those who don't know, Legit plays on 170 ping from Brazil. And if there's one map where that's extremely debilitating, it's Gully Wash, with all the chokes that you have to get through. And couple that with the fact that he's been kind of relegated to playing NG at last instead of Broking watching last as roamer when they're trying to push out. You know, Broking likes to take some of those heals and have the double soldier in. With Legit just sitting at last, it's been just a rough game for him.
Yeah, He probably played like engineer for at least like 7 to 8 minutes, but we're going live here with the second half, so teams readying up right away. We have the colors flipped, so now you have Faint in blue and Sporadic in red. Looks like the momentum is on Sporadic's side. We'll see if they can translate this to another convincing mid win, but we're watching. Oh, well,
Ooh,
Exile
wow.
dies immediately. That's a great start if you're
And
Sporadic.
Phone can't even delete that too. Oh my god, this is disaster for Faint.
It's not what you like to see is when your medic and demo are the first 2 deaths at mid. Will Sporadic lose anyone here, or is this just going to be an ace for them?
Yeah, an ace. And let me tell you what happened there, Terry. There are 2 things that are kind of boilerplate at this point in mid, right? Your flank scout pressures the demo man on the other team, and your demo tries to own their medic and soldiers as they walk through, right? Well, Fig didn't get pressured, so she actually killed Delete trying to get up mid, and meanwhile Phone pressured Exile so hard that he actually managed to kill him. So instantly medic and demo down with absolutely nothing else in the mid, and we see Haze and Goku catching out Slender. She's trying to be a little cheeky in lobby as he's done before, and you have to convert this now, right? 6v5. Yeah. I know there's an edgy, but oh no!
Oh, Exile with a big play, the trap getting the kill, and now Broking's doing her little wraparound. But they do lose Laz on the heavy, but that was a very late death. That gives time for Broking to come in and do his thing, picking up Fig while Exile kills Phantom. So despite the overwhelming mid win, the trap by Exile keeps his team alive in this round here.
I didn't even see. Ooh, as a spy gets caught out by Broking. I think he saw the smoke of the disguise change or something. Maybe it was still a scout rolling out of respawn. Where was that trap, by the way? Was that on lockers?
Exile says in chat the steel trap, so whatever that's supposed to mean. You're the demo player. You tell me.
Well, I don't know, man. I'm thinking about CP Steel, I'm thinking about UC Steel, and it's just nothing's clicking. So we see a full Uber advantage now for Faint, and they catch out Fig without even having to use. So if you're them, you definitely want to find a way into second and hold that Uber for last. You do see Goku catching out Broking, but you know that might have actually been worth it by Broking to stop that roamer from bombing them and forcing their medic. They still have full Uber advantage. Goku actually does take down Laz, which is a huge pick. Do they wait for someone or do they try to take this right now? It's a difficult question. We'll see how they can do. As they do get forced, they're in with this Uber. They're trying to take down this heavy, but the heavy's still alive. Exile with some bomb, he gets caught out, and this is not a good put.
Yeah, Exile jumped way too far. He went deep into the enemy spawn trying to catch the medic, but you know, then he had a heavy shooting him in the face.
Yeah. If he had just bombed 3 inches farther back and focused the heavy instead, that would have been a different story. But Phantom with full Uber ad now. They're having Fig sticky up the lobby doors while the rest of their team moves up top. And so far they're getting in pretty cleanly, so...
Yeah. Broking tried to do a play up in heaven. He got punished for it. Phone is super low on the point, but they pick up Exile as well, so... It looks like there's a blue scout trying to rush for last, but time 6 on the point by Sporadic means that they don't have to worry about the back cap. And it looks like Laz dies anyway, so... This is really good for Sporadic here. They're walking through choke, free entry. They're getting cap time, and it looks like Laz will get forward, but they are still staring at, you know, giving up mid, and luckily Delete was building really well, grabbed Uber here, so we're back in this good old stalemate.
Broking actually going through drop down, very sneaky play, doesn't quite work out. And yeah, this game is just making me feel bad about every single time I've died as Demo Man and just given up ground from overextending. Because again, Exile gets caught up there and instantly his team takes the next point for free. As we see some sort of behind play going on with Phone, it ends up getting traded out, but we still see Sporadic pushing off this. And they actually turn it into a sack, really smart by Goku. And I think Phantom's going to get around this corner. So that was actually excellent play by Goku, realizing that he had the opportunity to just sack there. They disguised it as a push. It might have been a push originally. Great play.
Yeah, that was really well done by Sporadic, and now there's this scout that's... Oh, the scout does get the force, even though he was only like 18 health, I think, but they do kill Laz and Broking.
Yeah, there were a lot of players behind in Choke who contributed to that force, but also died. And as again, we see Exile. I do not know the purpose of that play.
He was 8 health and then fell to his death.
Even if you trade with the other team's Demo Man, that's probably still not worth it because you're trying to hold last about a demo. So, and this is going to be a dry push, but I don't know if it's going to be successful. It's pretty difficult to dry push on this last.
The soldiers on red going in 1 by 1. Well, I guess Goku gets the lead, so it's all worth it in the end. But
again, very smart play. When you're Faint, you can't be thinking about protecting your medic first and foremost because that's an actual push. You have to watch the point, you have to go for kills, and Delete just dies.
Slumnish trying to do a super bomb on a choke, but instead he'll just die to rollers from Fig, and they actually looks like they will get the cap off, so that's good for Feint, but with literally 100% Uber decide basically, and they're feeding 2 players, they have to cut their losses and back up.
It was not worth it to cap there, it turns out. You know, they don't know that ahead of time. They could have maybe gotten out after capping, in which case it would have been worth it, but they didn't, and now they're still down those players pushing last, so let's see
Here comes this Uber from Red. They're running in with a scout demo. They managed to kill Heavy right away, and now they're kind of postured up on the top right. They kill Broking as well, so it's looking good for Red if they can convert the next frag, which they do. 5v3, 5v2, and Sporadic up 4-2 now.
Goku actually living with 1 HP on that last push and getting arrowed and just cleaning up with damage, so that was pretty impressive. And you see Laz falling off there as Heavy and just getting instantly melted, so seems like Sporadic's starting to run away with this game.
What you predicted in the pregame so far is right. Sporadic is definitely doing much better on Gully Watch, which was Feint's pick.
I actually predicted both, if you'll recall. I predicted both Feint and Sporadic and waffled extremely hard, so I was right either way. But again, I should probably be talking about this mid. Actually, surprisingly good mid from Feint. Just really quickly rushing them. Seems like they actually did a bit of a right side mid there. Because Sporadic hadn't experienced that all game, they weren't ready for it. So Slumnish's bomb was incredibly effective, just cleaning up so many kills. And yeah, now they have full Uber advantage, so let's see what can come of it.
It was actually the reverse of the previous mid, where the first 2 deaths on Sporadic were their medic and their demo, so you know, Feint have pulling out a really good mid when they needed to, because they are down 2 rounds right now. And the next one, if Sporadic wins the next one, you know, that's the first map, just like that. So this is a very important Uber charge push. Trip is on the NG, has it on the far right side, while Phone is on the opposite side as a fully buffed 450 health Heavy. So a lot of the Uber is going to have to be devoted towards killing that or the gun. It's going to be very hard to do both when they're split up like this. And a kind of an early pop through River, but they're going right for the Heavy while the Soldier takes down, or the demo takes down the gun. They will actually get both Heavy and the gun, and ×2 in the cap, just straight up. Laz uncontested, caps the point. And Feint desperately needed that round here. 4-3.
It's funny, Terry, I was saying to myself, I was staring at just how beautiful the buffs were on Sporadic, and I told myself, I think the only way Feint wins this push is if they make a really concerted point effort. They did, and it worked out. And we see a right side mid again. Let's see if Fig can deal with it better. Last time she got caught out, she manages to get right into elbow. This is good play. Yeah, great play by Fig to stay alive there. Great play by the soldiers to counter bomb, take ground, and yeah, this time they were ready for it. You know, last time they got a bit content that the beginning of mid, you know, Fig was going to be able to lazily spam into big door. It didn't work for once because of the really aggressive play by Feint, but this time they were ready for it.
You know what we saw in this mid, Mustard? We saw both mids stay alive, so
interesting.
Well, we're in for some more stalemating here, as Legit is already on his favorite class, so
in the previous situations where we've seen this, Sporadic has held so far back that they haven't been able to successfully sack. But it looks like they're going to pick Slumnish in lobby. Broking's trying to follow up that damage, but I don't think he's going to get much.
Wow, if they kill Broking here, this is an Oh, and then Exile again kills both scouts.
Yeah, both scouts. I didn't see where the trap was, but whatever it is, he should probably keep using it because it's working out very well.
Exile's like saving his team so far. Like those 2 soldiers feeding there looked really bad in the face of Uber v Uber, but then Exile immediately equalizes it with killing both scouts. They're keeping Legit on NG as the team is trying to peek through Heaven. Phone is actually rolling on Sniper, so we'll keep tabs on that. But looks like Blue has thought better of it and will back off. This gives Phone an opportunity to win this fight, win this round.
The only problem is, before Phone can snipe, his team actually has to take over lobby, which they have still not done, actually. They've only in Uber advantage situations. Every time they're even Ubers, their combo's holding up top, not going into upper lobby, and because both soldiers from Feint are continuously spamming it, they haven't gotten in position. Phone does go lower main, though, and get a really nice body shot on the Laz, so we're going to see. Let's see if he gets aggro here. See if he switches his positioning. He's just still in lower main, but you're expecting him to rotate to River pretty soon. He's thinking about it. He's going to River. Let's see what he can do.
Just go for the hero shot. What have you got to lose right now?
Ooh, look at that trap. Maybe
I
that
know,
was
maybe that one.
I'm wondering if that was effective.
All right, well, I'm keeping my eyes on Phone as he is the off-class worth watching here, as much as we would love to see the Feint legit engineer gameplay here.
Yeah, we want to see Phone dial up a couple headshots, and he's going to have an opportunity now with Thunder.
Oh, he had the chance, but he missed it. And
So
Trip
now-
actually died too.
Yeah, Feint needs to treat this as a two-man sack, or sorry, Sporadic rather, and get the hell out of there. They're down 2 players now. You can't hold close anymore. Just back up, reset. You're up 4-2. The other team's going to get frustrated eventually. Just keep off class. You know what? I say that. Bring back the sniper and try again. They're not doing that at the moment, though. Maybe because they're expecting this push, given the desperation. And both teams get their Uber forced out, but the Uber's much better for delete. But can they get anything done with this? I don't think so.
Nope. It looks like both teams are content with just trading Ubers, falling back, and building that up again here. There is plenty of time on the clock as Phone goes and dies to the sentry, so he's probably going to go right back to sniper. Unless blue team decides to get super aggressive off of it, which I don't know. I can't imagine they will. But Broking is trying to peek in the lobby, getting some decent damage, and Fig gets caught out by Laz. This is definitely going to turn into a Feint push now as their heels are walking through heaven. Both soldiers, they meet another soldier, and actually Hayes gets the upward rocket kill on the Laz. It's a big scrappy fight here, all over 2 here, but Feint is actually trying to run away, but the scout is just all over them.
And he gets the lead.
Trip.
Nice by Trip. It's sad because I was about to shout out that really good play to kill Fig, but they just overextended the repush, and even when it's going poorly, they can't get out.
Alright, can Exile save it this time? He's really low and he dies to the rockets from Goku. Will that have bought them enough time? It actually might have, but there is someone teasing the point. Laz runs onto the point and dies to the sticky set by Fig, and looks like Phantom's playing it safe. They have a large Uber charge advantage. They don't really need to... yeah, they're thinking about running in, but they see 2 soldiers and a scout, and they change their minds real quick.
Phantom still does have Uber advantage, though, so...
Yep.
If Feint pushes out here, they might find themselves pushing into an Uber. And I think they are pushing now to try to get that force out because so many players have died from Sporadic, but again, it just does not work out the way they want them to. Really good denial by Sporadic, and now they have Uber advantage and a pick.
Yep, the heals from Red are getting set up in River. The Scout's about to pop in through River, bringing the Fig demo with him. They're all over this heavy, but he's still got a lot of health. It's getting shredded now, but he finally does go down to the pipes. Not really any other kills happening so far. As I say that, Exile died, Delete dies, and we could be looking at the end of map 1 here, unless Slemnish and Laz have anything to say about it. Broking, the only one alive, 7 health. Trip and Goku will cap out this first map. So my prediction already bit the dust. Sporadic grabs the first map 5-3.
Yeah, to run listeners through my prediction, at first I said Feint 5-3, and then I realized that my overall pick was going to be Sporadic in 2, so I needed them in 3, so I needed them to win one of the first 2 maps. And then I started wondering Sporadic would win it. So my waffling maybe led to me being right, or maybe I cheated. Who knows? But the point is, Sporadic takes it. Excellent play. I'm looking at the stats right now, Tery. The damage was actually very close, only 2,000 more damage in total from Sporadic, but their medic died half as many times, and I think ultimately that was the biggest difference.
Yeah, you see 7 deaths here for Phantom as opposed to the 14 from Delete. Also, Delete had that drop to the trap early in the first round. Certainly a factor in a game as close as this one. Legit, I mean, we hate to see it, 8-23, but again, he was playing Engineer a lot, and the ping is certainly a factor on this type of map. We are going to go to Bioduck next, so we'll see how that translates for him there. So far, if we had to pick a scapegoat for sure, it would have to be him.
And this raises an interesting point about the nature of stats. Like if you look at Broking right now, he has 13,000 damage, which is actually 330 a minute. The second most on his team, and more than either Demo Man, which by any account is a great game. However, he also went 20-39, and you feel like part of the reason he had so much damage is because you so often saw these double soldier plays where their spam just reinforced one another. But, who's not there in that fight? It's Exile. And we see Exile much lower. And, was Exile's damage so low because he wasn't hitting shots, or was it because he was, relegated to being not part of the combo in those situations, I would have to go back and watch again, but, and I'm not trying to scapegoat Broking or anything, but it's an interesting question, Stats can be misleading, and I'm wondering if Broking, he did so much damage, you have to think he was making a big impact with that, but it's a little tough because Feint's flank was often getting caught out in those situations, so just trying to raise a couple points.
Of course, we We love all the thought that goes behind it. As the servers are getting switched out, it looks like there is some downtime here, so we'll probably have our good old producer Drshdwpuppet cut it to some music for a little bit, and then we'll be right back with more Grand Finals action going on to Map 2 Viaducts. What we just saw was Sporadic take the first map on Faint Gaming's pick, Gullywash, 5-3. So we'll see you back in a little bit. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are back after that short intermission. We're now sitting on Viaduct here as all 12 players are in the server. Could be going live any moment now because it's getting late on the East Coast. I'm sure some of these players, get this grand finals going. Fate needs to climb back if they want to, have a chance to take it to the third map, the decider. So after what we saw on Gullywash, Mustard, what do you think here about Viaduct as we're actually going live? So maybe never mind. I'll let you take this first mid.
Given how many times Delete died, I think a lot is on Laz's shoulder. You'll see him play as the pocket scout. I feel like he's been playing incredibly well in scrims on this map. His stats have been utterly insane on this map, but he's going to have a lot on his shoulders to keep Delete alive, given how many more times she died than Phantom on the last map. So I think a lot, not to put too much pressure on Laz, but they build this team around him on Viaduct. He's getting like 30% heals. He's a really good DMer. I'm expecting big things from him, or we see Feint out in 2. So let's see what happens.
All right, we got Sporadic in the blue jerseys and Feint Gaming in the red. Looks like both teams playing it a little slow early on. Here comes this Roamer bomb going in deep, kind of getting skyboxed. Both soldiers in super deep. The first Delete 2 kills go to Sporadic, including Delete. Yep, and the soldier Broking gets caught out behind, and blue team waltzes onto the point after a pretty convincing mid win.
Remember when I said that there's sort of a weird rhythm with Sporadic where sometimes the Roamer goes second? What happened there is Hayes bomb straight across the point, very obvious bomb, everyone looking at him, it was in plain sight. And while he's doing that, Goku just bombs second from the flank, which is not always what you expect. You usually expect the Roamer first, and he got a free shot and Delete and just 2-rocketed her. So that coordination combined with sort of weird gameplay. And is Feint going to sack here? They're at full Uber disadvantage, but it looks like they're trying to do a bit of a dry push, and it's not working out so well so far. The health is pretty awful.
Yeah, Slemnish tried to do like the skip jump off mountain, but he kind of messed it up and couldn't quite. They do get the force actually, with Legit and Slemnish dying like pretty much towards the tail end of that Uber. Feint will have basically done what they needed to do, getting that Uber force, and they're set to retake.
A bit of eyes too big for his stomach for Trip there. That actually was not a force. That was Trip saying, they're caught. We can solo Uber into them. But usually those are only worth it if you can get the medic, and I mean, they can be good for slowing down time, but it probably wasn't necessary right there. So let's see if they can force out Delete kind of early here.
Sporadic was able to take a minute off the clock before Feint is trying to retake. Laz dies early, so again, kind of not playing as close to the heels as we thought he might be. Phone actually just walks onto the point and 2 shots exile. Excuse me. The red Uber does come out, but too little too late. They're not really going to find many picks. Besides Goku, I guess, who is running around enemy lines.
Yes, the fine line between milking and dropping players. We see it here because both Exile and Laz got dropped as Delete tried to milk that. We're not in their mumble. We don't know whose fault it was, if the comms weren't great, if the positioning wasn't great, but someone done goofed, and now Phantom has full Uber ad and is still holding the point with only a minute left on the clock.
Yeah.
And again, they choose to Uber in.
Like Feint never even capped, despite they dropped players, they didn't get money kills, and they didn't cap. So this is a complete domination so far for Sporadic as they're trying to grab kills. There's a scout 1v1 happening over by Pack, which Legit is able to win, so that's good. But looks like Blue still has control of the point, and they are healthier than Red Team right now. Delete's arrows will fix that problem. Exile's walking forward, urging his team on the point, and there goes Feint's first cap, but 39 seconds left for Sporadic. That's one hell of an opening run there.
With this time cushion, Feint, they don't have to do any sacks. They're already at 70%. They can if they want to, but if not, they can just trade Ubers, try to get some people behind. I think that's what they're going to do, yeah. You see them building here. I think what they're going to do is they're going to take a solo on Trip, or maybe a Trip and Hayes Uber, or maybe a Trip and Fig Uber, and then try to get their soldiers behind while they're doing it. So we'll see what's happening here, as Legit is getting really low on flank, but so are so many players on Sporadic. And everyone's still alive so far. We see Trip chasing them all the way out. The Ubers are about to be over for both teams, and we'll see what happens. Hayes is in. Oh, it's a ridiculous air shot on a Slemnish. Really nice shot from Hayes.
And looks like Hayes and Trip will go down for Sporadic. Slemnish dies from Feint, and Red will continue to hold that point for now, but they got their work cut out for them there as they're only passing the 2-minute mark here. Ubers are even as they just traded Ubers and both meds stayed alive. and looks like we will stalemate out. But blue team trying to peek very aggressively with both their scouts, and the soldiers are now flying in, making space for their team. Oh, blue team's just taking complete control of the point. Delete dies to a fig pipe from across the map, question mark?
Yeah, and really nice bomb by Hayes at the same time, who I was still watching. But yeah, that was the correct play to dry push there, you know? It's Viaduct, you have the spawn advantage, you know? Any kill you get, you'll spawn first, and, you know, Sporadic completely aware of that. Even if that hadn't gone so perfectly and they had just traded kills evenly, they would have been able to repush with plenty of time left on the clock and retaken it. So great play by them. And now Phantom has full Uber advantage with only 20 seconds left. This is so painful.
Yeah, we could be seeing the end of round 1 here. They just need to sit back, let the kills come into them, and they can just pop Uber at their leisure almost. The scouts trying to run forward, getting on top of the medic, but not able to get any kills. They do Uber, they do drop Trip, which is a little concerning, but with 2 picks already in their favor, Red might have a little bit of an opportunity to repush, dry Uber, but both these soldiers all over him. Foam picks up Exile, and it looks like Red is just completely scattered. Legit goes down. Slemnish is now by himself on the point. He does actually kill both Hayes and... Oh, he's still alive? No, he dies. Red is actually able to turn that dry push, that really scrappy fight, into a win, and...
Yeah, it's a combination of the desperation for being forced to go and those faster respawns, you know. They just kept zerging in, and eventually their numbers took over despite Foam's best efforts. I'm pretty sure you got 3 or 4 kills on the point there. But,
now Fate has a chance to be holding here, but Goku going in super deep, right on top of Exile, is unable to... Oh no, Foam follows him up and gets the kill, but... and they actually do get the force and kills. What?
I would describe that pop from Delete as a word that is syllabic, or that is synonymous with cat, because that was 101 HP pop. Not a fan of that, and yeah, complete wipe for Sporadic, minus Legit, jumping around and around quickly.
They just walk onto the point at the end and grab that first for the first round. So Sporadic going up 1-0.
And I want to watch Sporadic soldiers on this mid because I feel like last time their coordination, they're just catching Delete out in these situations. And you want to see Feint organize themselves better and be ready for this because we know that it's coming.
Yep, so we're taking over another mid here as the red soldiers, the red players getting aggressive first. We'll see if this actually pays up for them, but Laz and Hayes trade lives. Red team has mostly control, but the soldiers wreaking havoc behind them. Goku finally goes down after who knows how long, and the damage is done. The red team is so weak they have to give it up, and blue team will just waltz onto the point after grabbing these kills late.
And I have to give a big raspberry to however the style of Fate on this map, because their soldiers are not initiating, and Laz seems to be trying to initiate by running across the point. He's dying first on all these mids, and they really need to fix that because you can't be losing your pocket scout, you know, the anchor of your team first in all these fights. As you see, both Ubers being popped off. The Uber is a tiny bit better for Delete, but it's compensated by a player being down for both sides. They do have to flash Exile, and this is going to be an interesting post-Uber fight. Let's see what happens.
Fig being the first death is probably not good, and Goku really hurt behind his own team right now. Hayes picking up a kill in here and there, but trading for it in the end. So again, 4v4, lots of scrappy DM fights going on. Keep in mind, yeah, Feint retakes or caps for the first time, and looks like blue has been successfully repelled here as they fall back. Delete does have herself a small advantage. Uber advantages, probably they're not really probably going to do anything off of that, considering they have the point. We'll likely see Ubers even out and see how blue elects to push this, but they are getting very aggressive left lane. They're just teasing it, you know, they're just peeking, seeing what they can find. What they do find is a Slemnish pick, but Broking finds Fig in response. That cannot be good for blue's attempt at a push here, but they do actually get the force off. Goku dies for the force. Phantom's running away, 90%. He's safe as can be, so pretty good decision there. Pretty good series for Sporadic once again.
And not to be rude, but Goku getting that force out was pretty unacceptable because he literally just waddled through Connector and 2 rocketed Delete who was just standing there, so I don't even know what to say. You can't let that happen, man.
Alright, we see the blue Uber come in now after getting Laz and Legit, so and Delete might be caught, so hurt, but manages to tuck herself away in that, you know, that lobby area, the wooden area. And Broken going down, not really a big deal. they will have a large Ubercharge advantage, and he'll be up in time for them to push with his team anyway.
Yeah, and they do have Uber advantage this Feint, so we see a really high bomb in by Goku, but he gets destroyed. Hayes is really hurt too. It's possible Feint even muscles them out without even having to pop here, given all these picks they've gotten, and that would be really good for them to start building up a time here. They need to get some consecutive time, and it looks like they're going to have that possibility now.
Yeah, I mean, they're not that far behind. They're only about 10 seconds right now, and, you know, they have Uber first, so they will pass Sporadic here, but for how long, you know, we'll see. Fig is still poking and prodding from his right lane. Looks like the Uber comes out really early. Looks like from good spam damage, and Feint should have a much better Uber here. Yeah, they pick off Trip, and Phantom is not long for this world, getting bombed by a soldier. He falls and craters. 3 down for Sporadic, and Feint will continue their hold, but a blue bomber coming in late, trying to get on top of Delete, isn't able to. And that's basically an effective wipe from blue here. And Trip comes in and kills Slemnish. Nice consolation prize, but large ad again for Delete.
And I'm beginning to notice a bit of a pattern here, Tery. Every fight where Laz does not either overextend or get dropped, depending on your perspective, and actually manages to live till the end of the fight, he's getting like 3 or 4 kills every single time. We know this dude's DM is insane. He just has to stay alive for the end of these fights. Let the soldiers make space, and then just do your thing. It's Viada.
Look at these blue soldier, but well, they die for it, but actually this has turned out into a disaster. It looked good early. Both blue soldiers had height pushing red team back, but not able to. The rest of the team not able to follow up, and with Delete getting Uber charge, this is a good opportunity for them to grab their round here.
And they're doing a bit of a soft forward hold, it seems. Oh no, maybe just broking. He's backing up now. But yeah, really nice play by Exile there, hitting some good pipes. And Phantom is going to be able to get Uber in time, I believe, but most likely they're going to have to pop first.
Yeah, and look at Red taking this super aggressive Uber and killing Fig. Phantom didn't even have Uber but when Fig died. Feint does lose 3, and Sporadic is taking the point right back, so Exile dies late too.
They did just get it in time, but you would have, and once they got that Uber, they managed to wipe. But given the fact that Phantom was literally 2 HP when he popped off that Uber, you would have liked to see someone follow up on that right after the Uber, but no one was able to get to him. A continued pattern, Phantom staying alive, people not able to touch him. And now they're giving themselves a fighting chance in this, although it's not over yet with Laz bullying Trip off the point and doing some really good damage, and he's just destroying kids on the point. Yep, I think this is going to be the round.
Remember, red team, all they needed to do was sit their butts in the cap, and they were able to do that while picking up kills. So the quick equalizer, the response round from Feint Gaming, not going down without a fight here, 1-1 as we head into this third middle.
As we see Laz, I don't know, the scoreboard is telling a story. I'm occasionally glancing at the ESEA page because I'm a bit of a tryhard like that, and Laz is doing just amazing work. I really want to see some soldier aggression here. We see Slemnish bombing in right here, getting instantly on a Phantom, instantly on Phantom. Now just play around Laz and Exile. But, excellent play by Phone.
Delete is the only one alive and dies.
Yeah, that
late death doesn't mean as much on Viaduct, but...
And we're seeing a bit of a forward hold attempt by Fig. Let's see if the rest of her team can get there in time. And what we see here is we just see... I think that the rest of the team of Feint, minus their soldiers, overextend once they kill the other team's medic. If you kill the other team's medic on Viaduct, you need to keep yours alive.
Right.
Medic is so important on Viaduct, and they were just not able to do so. So both medics die. We're seeing a dry push back from Feint, but Sporadic currently has the point. However, the flank, really good play by Feint, just bombing the flank. But Delete dies to a trap, and that's really unfortunate.
Yeah, that will help save it for... save it for Sporadic, but Feint's done.
And also, Feint manages to cap, but that was actually a mistake. You actually did not want to cap there, because now they're going to get it back instantly for free, most likely, with not everyone there yet. That was actually a bad situation to cap by Exile to give the other team. Except we do see Broking hiding. I don't know if you've noticed this.
Yeah, he's hiding the other team's house area. Looking, he's going to walk forward. He's going to find the easy kill onto... Oh, maybe, yeah, he finds the easy kill onto Fig. Still scurrying around behind the enemy lines. Trip will pick him up there. As actually Phantom has a large Ubercharge advantage, so looks like that late death actually did come into play here, especially if they take this super aggressively, which they are trying to do. Delete. Oh, but then Trip gets dropped. So looks like that will stall all momentum there. But
Yeah, and Fig getting caught out by Broking there really stopped their Uber from being really successful from the get-go. However, luckily they didn't even have to force to get the point. So we're going to see an Uber trade here, and Trip is down, so it's going to be a bit difficult for Sporadic. It looks like they're getting muscled off, but you would have liked to see them pop a little earlier before anyone died. And they do manage to get Exile, though, who gets dropped in the Uber. Laz is going to have to do a ton for this to be worth that. And
yeah, he's going to have to hit every shot, which he is doing. Well, Legit comes in and cleans up Phone, but now Legit will trade. And just Fig walking up far right, pressured by a soldier and a scout. He might actually die here. No, he gets... Oh, he does get picked up.
Yeah.
Just again, scrappy fight everywhere.
Again, when Delete puts the trust in Laz and follows him around, he is making things happen. He's definitely been the biggest bright spot on Fan. This is what they needed. They needed some individual play to cope. As we see Phantom go down from a Slimdish bomb. I didn't see that live, but...
Trip really retaliates, killing Delete. So, again, just another DM fight here. 2 on Feint, 3.
Let's see. Oh, dual bait? Okay, good. This was the correct play. You saw what Sporadic did there. They capped it all the way to the edge, waited until their medic respawned, and then recapped. That is so huge on Viatic because when there's so many dry pushes, if your medic gets to the point first, so often you can bully them out just with your heal advantage. And they managed to get Phantom there in time. So now when Feint tries to dry push, they're going to be pushing into a fully buffed team who's going to be spamming down at them. So smart play by Sporadic where you did not see it from Feint at the same time.
Well, here come the soldier aggression. One bombing Rock, the other one bombing Cliff. No real frags happening right now as Laz is the first death. That's not what you'd like to see if you're Feint. And now all the kills going down, but Legit picking up Phantom, sneaking around the back lines. So Delete being the only one alive will have Ubercharge advantage, but you know, you're losing time here.
Actually, if Phantom's movement was a little bit worse, he might have actually died even sooner there. But the fact that Slimdish took so long to do all that damage to him and Legit had to come in too is the reason why so many of Sporadic scouts were able to clean up as well. As we see Legit going down in the back lines, they do know that Feint has an Uber advantage here, but they can use that pick and try to force them out. As we see Delete being destroyed, doesn't even have it yet. This is very tense. Can Delete get this Uber before dying, and is she going to pop off?
Oh, Fig grabbing 2 kills onto both soldiers. The Roamer does come in for the force. Good job by him. And it doesn't look like this red Uber... Well, they do pick up Fig late. Have they overstayed their welcome, though?
Yeah, a little bit. Great play by the scouts, and Phantom lived that entire time, so he now has a 70%, 60% Uber advantage. He's at 80% right now, and Feint's going to have to try to push now. They're running, I mean, not now, but pretty soon they're running out of time. They do probably have time for a sack, but it's very risky to go for one. So I think it's more likely we're just going to see them try to walk in, edge the point, and force out the cap.
Yep, Phantom at 100%, Delete only coming up on 50 right now, and the time is ticking. About 30 seconds left for Sporadic here, and is exactly what we see, but two for 2 trade immediately. Scouts all over Phantom. 50 health does not pop, so again, great milk. He does have to pop with the late soldier bomb, but again, pretty good milk from him, even though they won't get anything else besides Broking. Remember, there's only 15 seconds left, so Red needs to get on their horsies and cap the point. Otherwise, they're going to find themselves down another round. And Legit going down. Yeah.
Big mistake by Feint, not having anyone to back up and build with Delete, so she wasn't even at full Uber and ready to push right away. So now they're not going to go at 15, they're going to go at 1. That's really tough.
Yeah, Goku does die for the force, so that's a win for him. And now, you know, Feint's gotta hold this one really well. And killing Fig is a great way to start.
Fig, she really needed to recognize there that Phantom had a huge Uber advantage already, and that there's 40. Like, look, Phantom's at 60% right now. He's gonna get it at what, like 30, 25? If you push him with Uber advantage right then and there, you probably win the round. And I guess it's not a big deal because Fig is back up now, but they don't have any positioning to go, so it didn't end up hurting them as much as it could have. But let's see what happens here. Let's see what this Uber advantage could pull off.
This is a very important Uber here. Trip's trying to clear the trap, looking for hiders. Phantom gets pilled, so he has to pop early. Phone and Broking trade Ubers, and then Trip's just going to waltz right on the point. Remember, if they cap it, it's over. And you see Exile trying to help stop the point. Ooh, Phantom and Fig going down really early. That's a really good play from Slimdish.
Yeah, Slimdish is the hero here. Ooh, beautiful.
Looks like this push has been stifled, and we got 0-0s for everybody. Phone is the only one on the point, and that might be it. There's a little time, but Fig is the only one really in position. He's bombing in. Just gets shredded by 2 scouts, so
That was the moment where we actually saw really good soldier coordination from Feint, which I haven't said yet this time, because when they knew the other team had to come with Uber, they double bombed both their soldiers on the other team's concrete, traded with Phone, and then Slemnish was behind and got a further 2 kills and really salvaged that fight. So that worked out extremely well. I'd like to see more of those coordinated aggression plays from Feint. Their soldiers do have good DM. If they can just pull these things off, you know, Laz and Legit can clean up.
Here we go, the soldiers going in, distracting. Legit gets the first kill on top of Goku. Delete goes down to a haze bomb. And so it's now, how can blue team keep their Ometic alive? It looks like the answer is they won't, as everyone on blue dies. So Feint winning the mid. Oh my god, maybe a combined like 200 between 4 players.
Yeah, no, what that health points to is either poor focus fire or a bunch of missed shots, because Delete died instantaneously, and then everyone zerged for Fig and for Phantom, and they were just not able to clean up those kills. I saw Fig miss a lot of shots. I'm assuming other people did as well, or were shooting the wrong people. So, good play by them. We're going to see a dry push here for sure. I don't think either team is going to wait.
Yeah, and they're going to start by killing Slemnish, who's hiding, or jumping around enemy lines. The other soldier coming in, Broken John to jump back away. Looks like he will actually get caught from Goku, and now Exile's on an island, but he managed to surf that meat shot all the way up to Cliff, so pretty good job by him staying alive there, but not before they have to concede the point.
Yeah, as Fig gets caught out here, though, again, an example of someone not being on the same page as their team. Fig wanted to go forward and spam the Cliff, but Laz Rekka has added just beautiful shots from higher ground. And now we see Delete trying to take this Uber, but because there's no demo, she doesn't even need to use, and so again, sometimes when you lose one player when you're holding on Viaduct, the spawns are so long that there's just a domino effect. Point is instantly gone, and now we see one of our first forward holds of the game, I think.
Yeah, this is oh, but here comes this. Ooh, Phone dies to a trap, and now the Uber trade comes out, but Delete is in a pretty safe position, has full health, 150 health. Might have to pop now, yeah. They do drop Exile.
Yeah, I don't know what that pop is. If Delete's gonna drop Exile anyways, why are you forcing that Uber? No one else was even hurt, and Delete was at 150 HP. I have to question that. After a beautiful force by Slemnish on the other team, they just did not manage that well. Either don't pop at all, or actually chase to begin with and kill the other team's medic.
Well, the good news if you're Delete is that the Uber charge disadvantage is basically nothing, so you're not punished too hard, but Slemnish kills Goku, Delete dies, so, well, there you go. Haze just coming in, killing Delete at will, it seems.
Yeah, no, they forced Feint back, and Delete just put her Tuchus right against the wall of that house. Both soldiers bomb in, just rocket splash the house or direct the medic on the house, and just instantly dead. So we're gonna see a bit of a, not a forward hold, but a bit of a soft forward hold by Feint, trying to put up some aggressive traps. I like it. Keep him honest, and Phantom has full Uber here. Are we going to see a sack?
Look at how far back he's. Well, he was holding really far back, but you know, time ticking down as they're approaching the 2-minute mark. Broken dying to a trap is probably not a good way to start this push, this attempted dry push, and looks like Feint's just changing their minds.
I think they actually wanted to go to a sack for a sack there, but the trap killed Broken and Slemnish got down to 80 health, so they were literally too hurt to sack.
Right.
So that's just wasting more time. It looks at this point they're just going to say, screw it, let's wait for... Actually, I take it back, they're sacking again.
Exile bomb Cliff. Yeah. Exile's kind of doing a little flanky flank, but nope, he gets killed by Fig. And oh, even Uber's here, but look at the scouts, Phone and Trip picking up kills. And
props to Sporadic, because sometimes when the first sack is that much of a failure, you really don't expect a second one, and you get a little lazy. Your medic gets lazy in his positioning. Your scouts and soldiers aren't ready to deny, and they were not lazy at all. They were completely ready, and Phantom didn't even take a single point of damage. As Fig has that same trap up on Cliff, beautiful kill on the Laz, and this Uber trade is going to be very tough now without the spearhead of the push.
Yeah, Exile does find Goku, which is a nice equalizer, and then Phone dies to Slemnish. Oh my gosh! And then the kills just piling up for Slemnish here. Red team should be able to retake this. And Fig actually dies to Broken as well, so...
The only solace here is that with the respawns, Fig will be up before Broken, so if they want to, if Sporadic wants to, they can try to take a trade here, and while the trade is going on, get someone behind on the Broken side of things, or, sorry, the Slemnish side of things. I'm getting the players mixed up, my bad. But it looks like that was not able to be done because of a soft forward hold by Feint, spamming them out. Really good job. And now the health is pretty bad for Sporadic even before they use, so... Let's see how the super trade goes. However, Delete lets Exile get really low as well, so this could still be anyone's fight.
No, Blue has basically no soldiers. Goku was on spawn, I'm pretty sure, getting reset. He was 1 health for a really long time. And then here comes the re-aggression from the red team. Laz picks up 2, falls back to protect his medic, so he's doing, like, you know, like you said, he's playing really close to his medic, and he's popping off because of it. That's what, 3 kills during that scrappy fight?
Make it 4?
4.
He kind of wants the 5th. I don't think, yeah, he's not going to be able to get that, but yeah. I actually thought, even though the positioning was garbage, that Sporadic had a chance to win that because their health was so much better. However, the one actually healthy player on Fate managed to just clean everyone up before it was too late. And now we see Sporadic in the unenviable position of having to push with the 15 seconds left when the other team's demo can just sticky the point. We all know how great it feels as demo to just be able to det on them. Hayes goes straight for the other team's medic.
Ooh! Delete did die to the late bomb from Goku, and then 3 down from Feint. They're going to recap, and now look at this, 50 seconds left. Phantom's got 70%, and then Trip just picking up kills.
And remember when I said, once again, I mean, I hate to repeat myself, but how Goku likes to actually bomb after Hayes? Yeah. There's a rhythm to that that throws teams off. You see this pocket waddling in and bombing, you feel like, oh, this is the easiest player to shut down in the world, and then suddenly a guy comes from the flank. It's usually the other way around, and it catches a lot of teams off guard. Goku got completely free in, and now we're seeing a sack here, Exile going in, and actually killing Fig and still staying alive. So this is a really scrappy fight, but Delete gets caught out here.
Exile's still alive, just oh no, he dies, and they do actually kill him, and they do force the Uber. So there's only 10 seconds left, though. I don't know if there are going to be enough red players for them to get a repush off. Blue can just sit on point with buffs. Here comes Soldier by his lonesome, and he just gets picked apart. Yeah. Now here comes the rest of Feint, and they're just getting cleaned up, and that's 2-2.
That was so weird. That was so weird by Feint. They played it like there was only 10 seconds left to begin with when there was 25, and all fed in, including their medic. If they had done that exact same thing and gotten Phantom, but just kept Delete and maybe one other player alive, they could have repushed in an even fight, but they did not give themselves that opportunity. So we've seen both teams throw away leads in rounds. We've seen both teams have a dominant round. Let's see what happens in this decisive round of the first half as Fig is getting so much pressure on her. Complete destruction. Exile walks across the point and just destroys the cliffside.
That's basically it for this mid. Red. Oh, well, maybe I spoke too soon.
Yeah.
Kills on red. Yeah, Blue's re-pushing super late. Oh, and then Goku with like a pseudo air shot on legit.
Yep, no, they got a little bit too cocky, their soldiers did, on Feint, and just tried to chase on the cliff when they only had a 1-player advantage, and there were 2 scouts there waiting to shoot them out of the sky. So, bit of a mistake by Feint. There's not a lot of time off, and they're trying to trade Ubers here. They're coming from Concrete, though, which is a notoriously difficult place to push from if the other demo man sees you coming, and they're getting destroyed. Goku killing some with spam. That's something you do if you want to get in quickly, pop early or something, but they just could not get in through that choke.
Right, and now they're posturing up in the left lane, but again, they're just poking and prodding. They're not really getting the look that they want. Blue team set up really beautifully, and then here comes this early pop from Feint. Phantom responds in kind with his own Uber, though they aren't getting kills with it either, so it could be anyone's fight. The first kill goes to Sporadic as Trip takes down legit, and now looks like red team is playing behind the point, getting bombed by the soldier. Slemnish will clean him up, and that might actually call off the retreat here. The scout and soldier are going in deep for Fig. They aren't able to kill Fig. Fig stays alive with 20 health. And Feint will recap the point. Ubers are dead even, basically.
But again, that recap may or may not have been worth it because, well, actually, it was probably necessary there, but Fig is going to be up very soon. And I liked the way Trip used that Uber, focusing the flank. They killed legit first, but some really nice soldier regression by Slemnish was able to equalize things. And we see Goku trying to make his way in, but he's getting denied very hard. Exile's actually putting out some really nasty damage, and it's kind of been denied this first wave by Sporadic, but as I say, that Trip runs on the point, and Hayes gets a kill on the other side of the map, so yep, another team just bullies the other team out.
Doesn't it feel like, Mustard, that every time Sporadic bombs their soldiers, they get 1 or 2 kills, and then every time Feint does it, they get space, but not necessarily the kills? It's just a matter of maybe focus fire, or just how the damage is spread out between players.
Well, I have a theory about why that might be, but I'll get to that in a second as we have an Uber trade going on. And we see Phone taking 1v1 with Slemnish, who dies during the Uber, but Laz actually manages to get a pick onto Goku at the same time. However, Delete getting caught out. Laz forced her in a kind of a weird position in connector. Fig just laid stickies right behind her, and bada bing, bada boom. This should be an easy cleanup. Can any soldier get in to kill Phantom, or is this going to be a complete halt? I think it will be. We have a bit of time. Here's my theory. Because Sporadic is bombing in first, they're taking the initiative. They're bombing in while Broking is often still sitting on concrete. And so either he can't help deny them, or they're bombing onto him and killing him. And I feel like a lot of times that the team that just takes the plunge and has that initial aggression is successful. And Sporadic is just more confident in doing so right now. So
yeah. So far, Phantom's sitting at a pretty significant Uber advantage, and the time is also heavily in Sporadic's favor. They will give up the count, and they don't. Fig walks onto the point and stops it, but trades his life for it. I'm not sure about that one.
Yeah.
But they are getting the kills and the damage. It looks like they'll recap right away. Not too bad of a consequence. Goku's going in deep. They actually pop. They do drop Goku. Phantom unable to flash his roaming soldier at the very end, but they will fall back and they will recap this, or wait for Goku to spawn and then cap it.
Yeah, I don't think that was worth it from Fig. I feel like she should have waited for Uber there. I mean, they did manage to get a kill and delay the cap, but what's that really worth compared to losing your dumb men's life there?
Right, I don't think that was worth.
As we do see Delete coming in with this Uber ad, however, because Sporadic has so much of a time advantage, they do not need to take risks here. They can have their medics so far out. The only downside of that is they didn't have a soldier bomb, so they weren't able to even force the lead, which is a bit of a mistake. I feel like if they had like double soldiers sack there and just run their medic out with the scout there, that would have been the ideal play. They did not. For once, the soldier aggression was not there for Sporadic, and you know, good job by Feint milking that Uber the entire time. And let's see what can happen here. This is going to be another Uber trade. Sporadic knows that they have the time advantage, so they can afford to be a little bit aggressive in the post-Uber, right? Because even if they get wiped, if they get any kills, they'll spawn first and have time for more pushes to come. Whereas if Fate loses this once, they're very likely out of the round. So let's see what happens here.
Yeah, both teams setting up behind their respective rocks. The Uber trades come in. Looks like Red has successfully repelled the blue Uber for now. We'll see what happens during this refight. Doesn't look like anyone's posturing up to be too aggressive. There is a scout scurrying behind. No, it's actually Slemnish who goes down. This gives Sporadic the one-man advantage that they need until Laz quickly retaliates. Here comes the soldier bomb, super deep, super quick, but he's got two scouts in his face, so I can't imagine he's long for this world.
But Goku, beautiful play. Phantom shot him an arrow and he just walked across. And again, his cohesion with Haze. When you see Haze, you did not expect Goku to be following it up delayed, but he always seems to find these timings when everyone's looking at Haze. They've been playing together for a couple seasons, and they really have that down.
All right, well, time is running out for Feint here in this first half of Viaduct, and looks like they will lose Slemnish early again. Kind of story of the series a little bit, losing soldiers early. They do manage to recap, but even Ubers, blue team's gonna waltz onto the point, actually putting a lot of cap time, and they kill legit. So
and they drop Exile.
Trip's just going ham, and that could be it for this first half. Though Broking and Laz shut it down really quick, killing Fig too. But if they cap it, it's over. Both soldiers come in late. Looks like they will stifle this push. Phantom's the only one alive and has scurried away to last.
They will have their spawns before Delete gets in though, and that was actually a beautiful play by Haze. He's the one who synced the rocket in with Trip when he jumped Cliff to have them drop Exile, and then he went behind and killed Delete as well. So really good work by Haze, and all they need to do is get on the point. Their health is so much better. It'll barely be able to be stopped, and yeah, that's it. Perfect. Broken focuses the medic, looks good on your stats, but you know. Yeah, and I just feel like, I mean, it's obviously a very close game, so we don't want to say, you know, Sporadic is doing X so much better or whatever, but I feel like Fate has the recipe for winning these fights. Every time that they've actually had a correct sequence of events where they've gotten their soldiers in aggressive, and then the moment they have, Laz and Exile have been tanked, have not been dropped, and they've run across and destroyed things. They've won a lot of these fights, but you just see so many times where someone on their team is too passive or someone on their team feeds too early, whereas Sporadic seems more like a well-oiled machine, and I think that's been a little bit of a difference.
Right.
As I'm looking at the stats,
I was gonna say, look at Laz's numbers right now.
Yeah, and if you look at it, him and Trip are actually pretty comparable. Both of them are doing some excellent work, and I've been very impressed by them. I think one thing you see is, well, first of all, Phantom has died 2 times less, so it's gotten a lot closer. And the other thing I'm noticing is Fig has significantly more damage than Exile.
the Fig Exile disparity is kind of
But you know, in Exile's defense, I've seen a couple times where he's been dropped in some of these Ubers where it's been very prime positions for him to do damage, you know? Maybe if he gets flashed there, he gets a little bit more. I'm not saying he's playing as well or it's exactly even, but it does hurt my heart to see a Devilman get dropped on Viaduct because we all know how important that class is on this particular map. And yeah.
All right, looks like we're going live. For those of you tuning in late, we're watching Game 2 of ESEA-IM Grand Finals. Right now, Sporadic is up 1-0 in the series, and they're up 3-2 at half.
Bit of a wrinkle. Take a look at this.
Yeah,
Sorry to interrupt, but Slemnish on the Sniper, a class which he is extremely well known for being dominant on. Sniper to mid does not always work out in your favor, but if you hit a ridiculous amount of shots, it can, so.
And there we go, right away, killing Fig, and that might as well secure this. Well, yeah, they get Haze too, who's trying to get the Slemnish kill, and this looks like a pretty clean first.
Slemnish surfs Goku's rocket back up to China and then body shots. Slemnish, for those who don't know, is an incredibly good sniper and has really good movement. He's not just going to hit shots, he's going to do things like that. So, and he's watching the medic. Phantom can't even come out now. This could be the wrinkle that you need. Sometimes, if you haven't seen this all first half, you know, you don't have a halftime to talk about how to counter this. They're only down by 2 rounds. Who knows? I mean, this is exactly what Fate needs to win this map. They haven't resorted to Slemnish on Scout yet. They're maybe getting a little bit closer to that, but this is pretty dangerous too.
But remember, a key thing is that Phantom did not die on mid, so this is even Ubers, but you know, pushing into a sniper that's hitting shots can be a little scary. We'll see how Sporadic elects to do it. And it looks like they elect to do it by popping Uber across the point. Later. Just keep it on the Slemnish cam. Why watch anybody else, honestly? But as the action unfolds across the map, Feint has a pretty solid hold here. And then Phantom dies, so again, Slemnish.
He's just hitting absolutely everything. Just ridiculous plays. Oh, he hit that headshot.
All right. I hope for the last 35-40 seconds that Drshdwpuppet was not watching anyone besides him, because
I know I'm not.
That was pretty gross.
Not to take credit fully away from Slemnish, given what he's doing right now, but note that they still, because he is a soldier who switched off, they still have 2 scouts and 2 scout mains who can actually play that class.
Right.
And in my mind, the double scout sniper is the most viable because, you know, you're sacrificing that soldier bomb, but he's kind of doing the same thing, right? He's hitting spam damage, he's softening people up. And he hits another air headshot into sack.
Is Laz really a scout main? I thought it was a soldier main. Anyway, that's
well,
details.
I guess you know,
details,
semantics.
You know.
He's a bit of both, but my point being, you know, you have these 2 scouts who can chase the frags that Slemnish softens up. You have 2 scouts who can, most importantly, deny soldiers because the soldiers are the ones who it's incumbent upon to actually bomb Slemnish and try to deny him. So to me, it synergizes much better than 2 soldiers. You know, those soldiers aren't going to keep the other team from getting to the sniper. They're not going to clean up. So I really like the double scout with the sniper, and they're doing it really well right now, is Feint.
Yeah, they got a nice iron grip on this round as Slemnish gets another kill on sniper, so he's just relentless right now.
The most important thing about his sniping, he hasn't died yet, and that's the biggest thing. If you find a way through a combination of movement, crazy shots, and your teammates helping you out to live this long on sniper, that's when you can get these 2 minutes, 3 minutes in a row holding where the other team can't even get near you. And that's when it gets so frustrating to play against. I know I myself have experienced it many times, so...
I don't know if you saw it, but Delete had a beautiful surf, like literally across the map, landing with like 30 health. But and then Slemnish continues to hit shots.
A lot of people were dropped in this Uber, though.
Yeah.
That's a bit of a mistake. Slemnish is another shot, though. It's only his...
Just why get off of Slemnish's cam? This is a 3-minute hold. If this cap time holds up, which it looks like it should be. See no reason. Ends it with another kill. It's 8 kills for Slemnish on sniper, and you know it's all tied up now. This is it. It's 3-3. Next one wins it. If Sporadic wins, they will win ESEA-IM Season 28, and if Feint wins it, we'll bring it to a 3rd map. Slemnish, I mean, why watch anybody else?
As both, so this is a bit of a good response, but Slemnish has some self-preservation instinct. And yeah, this is the other thing. I mean, Sporadic completely feeds going for the sniper, who they do get, but they feed for it. But can you really blame them given what he's doing? It's such a difficult situation on this map. Because if it takes that many people, it took both scouts, as we see, yeah, just the cleanup. I'm just sorry, I just wanted to see what happened there. Trip managing to kill 2 players and getting a little bit of advantage. So, you know, their respawns came at a time and they're actually doing a good play. I wasn't expecting this. I thought Sporadic was going to lose this first point, but they have not yet.
Yeah, well, here comes a 185 Slemnish walking up on Cliffside. Delete has full Uber charge advantage, and remember, this round's for all the marbles. Early pop from Cliff, but they will pick up Mustardoverlord, or rather Slemnish will, and they might kill the soldier at the end of Cliff.
Or rather, kill Fig, because I'm still
right
here.
Yeah, you know, there's my late. First slip up.
It's getting late.
We've been here a while. You can't blame me for that one too much.
As Foden runs in and kills the lead. Oh, beautiful play.
And then the soldier comes in late. Slemnish is not even paying him any attention. Just trying to get those kills.
Delete seems to not be very happy with her team, dropping a couple of ellipses. As Slemnish takes out Phantom.
Pretty happy after that one. Slemnish kind of salvaging it. Grabbing kills. He's gonna get shredded by 2 scouts, but damage is done. Medic died. Phantom down. Delete will have actually 20% advantage. When you have the point, or when you just lost the point, it's not, you know, basically inconsequential. Phone's getting pushed back super deep, but he does have a medic with him now. Slemnish is rolling back out on Cliff. We'll have to keep an eye out on that as always. And Exile kills Phone right away with a trap. This looks pretty good for Feint here, especially with Slemnish's sniper pushing them back, killing Goku. See you later. He will die to Trip, so shutting that down for now. As Red is trying to walk onto the point, which looks like they'll successfully do, picking up 3 kills along the way. So even though Delete has Uber advantage, they'll have to concede some time.
And this round has not been as one-sided, and I think it comes down to the moment when Feint was about to cap mid off of Slemnish's picks, but just overextended. You know, Sniper is so much more powerful when you can get that hold up and you have the point, versus when you're in this leapfrog or having to retake, because the headshots are not guaranteed. You have to go out and find them, whereas they'll come to you if you have the point already. As we see some bombs on Slemnish. Again, he's being focused. His team is doing a pretty good job of trading these players, but Goku actually uses the Slemnish bomb distraction to take down Delete, which, you know, again, how many times have we called out Goku for picking Delete off the distraction from Hayes? Yeah. Their coordination is great. They are going to retake this point. They do wait for their medic to spawn, or maybe it happens by chance, but Phantom has a bit of an Uber advantage. However, Slemnish has, I don't know what, like 20 seconds before Phantom gets Uber to just take pot shots. I think Sporadic's going to dry push here, so let's see what Slemnish can do.
Yeah, he could really ruin their day here, depending on where they walk in. Soldier walks in, he gets body shot, cleaned up, the other soldiers all over him. Oh, and he will live, but no, he won't. Hayes will pick him up late, but during this, Red Team's trying to walk onto the point. Phantom with a nice surf up onto the cliffside. His team will die, and he's actually probably going to die late, so there he goes.
Yeah. This is a mistake. I see a mistake that Goku made. So, you know, as roamer on this map, you're conditioned to go concrete, right? But given snipers are so often on cliff or China, concrete's actually the worst place to bomb from on a sniper, because he's just fully charged body shotting Goku every time he sees him, you know? So Goku's not getting that clean bomb off. If you send both soldiers cliff, or like one cliff and one bombing across the point, it's a lot easier to get on that sniper. But again, like you see Slemnish, the first thing he will always look at is concrete to see if that soldier's bombing.
And look at this blue Uber picking up Fig and Phantom. So those the two most important kills. And it's looking pretty good for blue team here. Though the soldiers from red are trying to change that. Hayes trying to chase this medic. Beautiful surf from Delete escaping. And look at that. 2 body shot kills for Slemnish. Thanks.
Yep. Slemnish couples his sniper aim with the fact that he's not playing it stupidly. He's not tunneling and overscoping. He's not only going for headshots. You know, he's playing to actually put as much damage as possible out on the other team, which is the key to sniper. Get them weak before they can even get into the fight. And that's what he's doing again.
He's just, you know, hitting headshots, hitting the body shots with, you know, no regard for the other team here. And only 15 seconds left. Delete could get this Uber, and that would basically secure this round and this map for them. 85%. Red team's desperately trying to claw their way back here. They are down by 2 minutes, so they need a miracle. But with Exile getting 2, and then this blue Uber coming out, that could be it. Exile does die, and actually Laz does too. Delete gets the medic on medic kill, which is You always like to see that.
I don't think she's getting out, though. It's going to be difficult. Unless Slemnish had come up Soldier there. Ooh, but she actually does manage to get out because of that detour taken by Trip onto Slemnish, which, fair play. Killing a sniper when he's doing this much work is pretty good. And it's not impossible for them to hold this for 2 minutes without an uber disadvantage, but you have to think, barring an epic choke and, you know, knock on wood, that Feint is going to find a way to muscle through this. So let's see how they can retake this if possible.
It's like a, I was gonna say it was a bit of a problem with Slemnish scaring them and then them needing to play the point, but if Phone kills Slemnish right away, who cares? Now 3 picks for Sporadic. They do lose Delete as well, so this looks really, really good for Sporadic here. They gotta keep Haze alive, and they will. Phantom, 60%, a minute left. It's absolutely doable.
Not only did they kill Slemnish, but when Laz and legit, you know, inevitably had to go back to kill that scout who ran their sniper down, Exile did not get a memo and he ran straight forward and died. But Slemnish opens up again, and this is what we were talking about so much time on the clock.
He had a shot on Phantom too, doesn't hit it. Phantom coming up on that Uber charge, and they will pop it off. How many kills can they get with this Uber? The answer is just one or two so far. And Delete is tucked away. So with 45 seconds left, Delete's at 50%. This is it. This is crunch time. You gotta go. If you don't want Sporadic, you know, if you want to get a third map, you need to win this fight here. And they do start it off nicely, killing Goku, who was bombing in. The health on blue is just so bad, but they're getting arrowed up, so looks like they'll be fine here. They already have half cap, and they pick up Phone. This is a really good series here for Feint Gaming, with the headshots ringing in from Slemnish, and the health just disappearing for both teams. But this blue Uber, they're waltzing around the point. Tripp's just distracting and delaying. 73 health, so 1 pipe is all he needs. But here comes the Soldier. Goku kills Exile. I can't believe what I'm seeing here.
Unfortunately, the headshot you heard ring out from Slemnish was the only one he actually hit in that sequence. He's cooled down a little bit. You can't rely on a sniper forever. We do see some great play, but Phantom has this Uber. Can they kite it and get back into point time? This is going to be so difficult.
Oh,
Legit gets denied before he even gets there. And
that's it. There you have it. Sporadic takes Viaduct 4-3 and Grand Finals 2-0 over Feint Gaming.
Yep, Slemnish gave them a fighting chance. Laz actually gave them a bit of a fighting chance as well by going 67-23 with 415 DPM on Scout.
Oh my god.
Not terrible right there. But in the end, actually it's funny, the stats actually favor Feint Gaming because when the match is so close, but one of the rounds they win is that one-sided. But, you know, can we call it a choke from Feint? I don't, maybe that's harsh. They made it close. They had to come back in the first place, but with 2 minutes left in that last round, you would have liked to see them close that out. And they were not able to. So, yep, Sporadic is your season 20, whatever it is, 27, is that right? I don't
28.
know.
Season 28
close
champs.
enough.
ESEA-IM champs. They'll be moving up to Invite. They have their golden ticket to Invite next season. I think Feint does as well, because with the new move-up system, I think the top 2 ESEA-IM teams are at least given the opportunity to play Invite. So this probably won't be the last of Feint Gaming, but otherwise, I mean, I wanted a close series, and that's pretty much exactly what we got. Do we want to do a little extrapolation of the stats, or we could call it? It's pretty late for us on the East Coast here.
Well, I'm not seeing too much more I feel like we need to discuss from the stats, given how close and competitive it was. But I do want to give a bit of an inspirational message to everyone out there, because, you know, the stereotype would be that the teams that look like Feint are gonna come down to ESEA-IM and beat the teams that look like Sporadic, right? I think we can safely say Feint, I'm not going to say it's fair. I'm not going to say they're doing anything wrong. They're not all playing their mains. They're trying hard. They're scrimming. But they do appear to be the sandbagging team if you look at the players on their roster. I have no moral qualm with it, but I'm just saying a lot of teams would see that and hang their head and say, I can't win this. It's not possible. This is too difficult. This team, they're invite players, as if, you know, they're a different species. But, you know, Sporadic said, you know what? We can beat them too. We just have to be well coordinated. Our players are improving. Not everyone is stuck in ESEA-IM forever, and you know we're gonna get our ticket, like you said. We're gonna make it to Invite. You know what, Tery? That's exactly what they did. They earned it. Hard fought games. They didn't dominate like they did against Popo, but they earned their spot. well deserved, and I hope to see some version of this team doing well in Invite next season. So there you go.
Yeah, and speaking of Invite, all we have left, I believe, is Invite Grand Finals, which should be happening on the 19th, which is a Sunday, so mark your calendars for that. TFTV will absolutely be bringing that, unless STVs die, fingers crossed. But what you just saw was Sporadic eSports taking it against Faint Gaming, 5-3 victory on Gullywash, followed by 4-3 victory on Viaduct. And that's pretty much all we have for you guys tonight. So my name was Tery. I was joined by my co-caster Mustardoverlord, running production, the awesome Drshdwpuppet, and have a good night, and we'll see you soon for Invite Grand Finals.